Welcome dear students. Today we are going to discuss the questions and answers of the chapter Poets and Pancakes authored by Asoka Mitra. Our first question is, what does the writer mean by the fear and misery of those subjected to makeup? Dear students, fear and misery means a terrible pain, okay? An intense pain or a painful situation the actresses had to go through while getting prepared for the film shoot. So, as you know, the makeup room was installed with a dozens of large mirrors and some heat emitting incandescent lights. Okay, so the atmosphere of the makeup room was very painful. It was not at all comfortable. That is why the writer here says that the actors and actresses were subjected to fear and misery in the makeup room. Second question is, what is the example of national integration that the author refers to? So, as you know, national integration means where there is no discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, race, religion, or region. Okay, so in the Gemini Studios, the makeup department was headed by at first a Bengali who became too big for the studio, means who left the studio after he got a lot of success, and thereafter a person from Andhra became the head. Next, a Madras Indian Christian, an Anglo Burmese, and the local Tamils. Okay, so these were the persons who got the chance to head the Gemini Studios makeup department, right? And here the is the answer. You can extract it very easily. That is, the makeup department was first headed by a Bengali who became too big for a studio and left. He was succeeded by a Maharashtrian and was succeeded by Dharwad Kanigad. Dharwad is a place, okay, in Karnataka, and Kannadiga means a Kannada person from Dharwad. So next was a person from Andhra, Madras Indian Christian, and these were the Christians who were converted. Okay, they were not by birth Christian; they had converted themselves, and they belong to India since their origin. And Anglo Burmese and the usual local Tamils. So the appointment as the head of makeup department of all these persons indicate that a national integration was followed, or you can say a lesson of national integration was learnt at Gemini Studios. Third is, what work did the office boy do in the Gemini Studios? So we will answer this part by part. Next is, why did he join the studios and why was he disappointed? So let us answer the first part. What work did the office boy do in the Gemini Studios? So as we know that office boy was appointed to do the job of a makeup boy. Okay, his work was, or his task was, to slap the makeup material on the faces of actors, actresses, and the crowd performers. Next, why did he join the studios? He joined the studio with a hope that one day he would become an actor, thereafter director, and a script writer. Okay, this was his dream, and unfortunately, his dream never came true. Right? Why was he disappointed? He was disappointed that a person talented like him, or a person of such a great talent that he possessed, was simply exploited at Gemini Studios, means his talent was not being used there properly. Rather, he was put at a place to work which was fit only for the barbers and the perverts, means morally degraded people. That's why he was disappointed. Means he thought himself a a skilled person who was fit for films and for good roles, better roles. Why did the author appear to be doing nothing at the studios? So as we know that Asoka Mitran's main task was to cut the paper clippings, paste them in the files and forward it to the bosses so that they could later on narrate the story or write the script of the films. This was his usual task. Okay, so people thought that cutting the papers, newspapers, pasting them in a file is not an important job. He was just doing nothing. They thought like that about the author, whereas it was an important task performed by him. Our next question is, why was the office boy frustrated? Why was the office boy frustrated? Who did he show his anger on? So, as you know that office boy was frustrated because he was not given the chance to become an actor, director or lyric writer. His task was just limited to do the makeup of the actors, actresses and the crowd players, and his whole career was limited or confined within the makeup room. That's why he was frustrated. Who did he show his anger on? He showed his anger on Subbu. Okay, Kothamangalam Subbu, because Subbu flourished a lot in Gemini Studios. He was next to the boss, and that office boy thought that due to Subbu he was not given a good position or good ranking in Gemini Studios. His importance got degraded because of the presence of Subbu or Kothamangalam Subbu, because Subbu superseded him in every talent from all aspects which are required in a film studio. सो उनको सुब्बू के ऊपर गुस्सा आता था और इसलिए फ्रस्ट्रेटेड थे कि उनका जो है काम सिर्फ और सिर्फ मेकअप बॉय तक ही सीमित रह गया, उनसे उससे ज़्यादा बढ़ के ही वॉज नथिंग देयर. नेक्स्ट इज, हु वाज सुब्बूज प्रिंसिपल? So, as you know, Subbu's principal was his boss, S.S. Vasan, and whatever command he gave him that to Subbu, Subbu executed that command very promptly and efficiently. That's why he was a most successful person and very important and eminent person for the Gemini Studios. He was next to boss, that is, he was number 2 at Gemini Studios. Subbu is described as a many-sided genius. List 4 of his special abilities. So, of course, his abilities are there, that is, he was always cheerful. His ability to look cheerful at all times. First one is this. Thereafter, he always had work for somebody. He could never do things on his own, but his sense of loyalty made him identify. Okay, so he always had some work for others. His sense of loyalty means he was a person of his principles. Okay, he was loyal to his principle. And the next is, he was considered a tailor made for films, means people thought that he was the most perfect man, or you can say a person fit for acting in films. So these were the 4 characteristics that Subbu possessed, or abilities. Next is, why was the legal advisor referred to as opposite by others? So as you know that in the story department there was a legal advisor who was a lawyer, whose actual work or legitimate task was to advise people on legal issues. Okay, whereas he acted contrary to his literary post there. That is, in spite of being an advisor to somebody, he advised people on wrong issues, means he created hurdles, he created problems for the people working there. And one suitable example for this is that he ruined, or he was responsible for ruining the career of a young actress whose recording was done when she was angry on the boss and the director, and her recording was replayed, okay, before her. She became frustrated, she became quite disappointed, and ultimately she left the job of Gemini Studios, right? So that's why he was a person who worked for creating hurdles for the people of Gemini Studios. That's why he was opposite of a legal advisor, means he was not doing anything good for the people of Gemini Studio. Next is, what made the lawyer stand out from the others at Gemini Studios? Lawyer means this legal advisor. So as we have read that the people working at Gemini Studios wore simple dresses, that is khadi dhoti, and clumsy shirt, that is loose fitting shirts, okay, and that were also of the khadi fabric. Whereas this lawyer used to wear tie, pants, and sometimes a good coat also. So his dress was different from others. He wanted to keep himself distinct from others. That was something unique about him, and he used to stand out of the other people working at Gemini Studios. Our next question is, did the people at Gemini Studios have any particular political affiliation? No, as we know that the people working at Gemini Studios were of Gandhian ideology. They used to wear khadi, okay, which was promoted by Gandhiji. Though they were wearing khadi, dhoti, and shirts, but they did not have any interest and affiliation with the political issues. Rather, they had aversion, they had dislike to communism. Okay, the people working in the Gemini Studios disliked communism, and at that time communism was widespread in India and mainly southern India. Okay, its roots are still deep rooted in Kerala at present also. Why was the Moral Rearmament Army welcomed at the studios? So the Moral Rearmament Army was welcomed at the studios because it performed two very famous plays there. Okay, two very famous plays, and they were the two famous plays were, that is, Jotham Valley and the Forgotten Factor. Jotham Valley and the Forgotten Factor. So they were very interesting plays, and people at large showed their interest in watching these shows again and again. Even the people of Gemini Studios, the 600 people, saw these plays again and again many times. They were so impressive, and the way they performed their sets and costumes were quite impressive. That's why they were welcomed at the Gemini Studios. And the workers of the Gemini Studio were so impressed by their set or stages that for many days they copied the same, that is, the scenes of sunrise and sunset were also showed by Gemini Studios later on also, after the moral rearmament army had gone back. Name one example to show that Gemini Studios was influenced by the plays staged by MRA. Yes, one example is there, that they Here is the answer. They were so terribly impressed, and for some years almost all Tamil plays had a scene of sunrise and sunset in the manner of Jotham Valley, with a bare stage, a white background, curtain, and a tune played on the flute. This is one of the most suitable examples that shows that people of Gemini Studios were very impressed by the way they performed. That is, MRA performed, and the performance of MRA was quite impressive for those. So this is the example that they created the scene of sunrise and sunset in the manner of Jotham Valley. Next is, who was the boss of Gemini Studios? Very simple. S.S. Vasan was the boss of Gemini Studios. Okay, and it was set up in Madras. What caused the lack of communication between the Englishman and the people at Gemini Studios? You know, the Englishman whose name was not known to the people, whose identity was not disclosed to the people of Gemini Studios. However, later it was the mystery was solved by Ashoka Mitran that he was Stephen Spender, a famous poet of England. So here the author wants to say that what caused the lack of communication between the Englishman and the people at Gemini Studios. As you know that Gemini Studios stands for producing films for the people of that locality, simple people. They didn't have any taste of English. They didn't have any understanding of English. So the Englishman, that is Stephen Spender, started delivering his speech in English, and his accent was also not understandable, means it was beyond their perception, beyond their comprehension. So it was, the lack of communication was there. Okay, lack of communication was there, means what a speaker says should be understood by the audience, but there was no synchronization between the two at all. That's why it was completely lacking in communication. Okay, the communication gap was wide. Next is, why is the Englishman's visit referred to as unexplained mystery? Dear students, as you know that when the visitor, that Englishman Stephen Spender, came to Gemini Studios, none of the people working in Gemini Studios were aware of his identity. Rather, even the boss was also not knowing about him. Okay, that who he was. So it was an unexplained mystery. What he said there, what for he came there, means an English poet. What is the purpose of an English poet to come and deliver a speech in a Madras studio or Gemini Studios, which belongs to local people of Madras who hardly speaks or understand English? So that's why this Englishman's visit was referred to as an unexplained mystery. Okay, neither the purpose of his visit was clear to them, nor his identity was clear to them, and so it was the mystery for all of them. Next is, who was the English visitor to the studios? So this is very simple, single line answer. Yes, Mr. Stephen Spender. Okay, Stephen Spender was the visitor to the studio. Stephen Spender has written most of his poems with the theme of social injustice and class struggle and class inequalities. One of his poems is in our syllabus, that is an elementary school classroom in a slum. Next is, how did the author discover who the English visitor to the studios was? अशोका मित्रन को कैसे पता चला कि जो इंग्लिश विजिटर था स्टूडियो में आया था वो कौन था? सो एज यू नो दैट अशोका मित्रन वाज ए प्रोज राइटर. He wrote a manuscript and he wanted to post it to an editor, that is a foreign editor. But before that, one day he found an advertisement in the Hindu newspaper that a short story contest was going to be organized by British periodicals, and the theme of that contest was the encounter. Right? So Ashokamitran thought that he should send his script, send his prose work to the encounter for publication or for the judgment according to his talent. Okay, but he wanted to get a firm or confirm about the encounter, that who was the editor of the encounter before spending money. राइट? क्योंकि भेज के और उस पर पोस्टेज स्टैंप लगा के जो वो मनी खर्च करते उससे पहले वो इसके बारे में कंफर्म कर लेना चाहते थे कि इसके एडिटर कौन है. सो ही वेंट टू ब्रिटिश लाइब्रेरी, ओके, ब्रिटिश काउंसिल लाइब्रेरी, एंड देयर ही फाउंड लॉट ऑफ कॉपीज लाइंग देयर, दैट इज ऑफ द इनकाउंटर. और इनकाउंटर की बहुत सारी कॉपी पड़ी थी. उसके जो उसने देखा उन्होंने, एडिटर वाज स्टीफन स्पेंडर. Editor was Stephen Spender. So he came to know that the person who visited Gemini Studios was Stephen Spender. And the next is he came to know about a when he purchased a book which was launched on the 50th anniversary of the Russian Revolution, that was hardly costing 50 paise, because it was a student editorial, students edition. So he purchased a book, and the title of the book was The God That Failed. In that, 6 people, that is 6 essayists, wrote 6 essays, and one of them was Stephen Spender. So now the mystery was clear. Ashokamitran confirmed that the person who visited Gemini Studio was none other than Stephen Spender. What does the God that failed refer to? The God that failed refers to a book which was authored by 6 persons who described about their journey into communism and their disillusioned return. And their names you can mention from here: Andre Gide, Richard Wright, Ignacio Silone, Arthur Koestler, Louis Fisher, and Stephen Spender. So these many people wrote a book which was titled The God That Failed, and they wrote 6 essays, and one each, that is, and one out of them was Stephen Spender. So the next is, the author used gentle humor to point out human foibles, pick out instances of this to show how this serves to make the piece interesting. So as you know, a gentle humor has been created by Ashokamitran by the depiction of the character of the office boy. As you know that he thought himself to be a person of multiple talents. He wanted to become an actor, director, and a scriptwriter, but he remained there as an office boy only. So many times he complained about his exploitation to Ashokamitran also, that his talent has been exploited, his talent has not been used properly, and he has been put at a place which is fit only for the barbers and perverts or morally degraded person. Okay, so sometimes he would show his anger against Subbu, that is Kothamangalam Subbu, that because of him and by virtue of his being from a Brahmin family, he had got a good position in the Gemini Studios, and in place of that, office boy has been pushed back. Okay, so he thought that he would have been in place of Kothamangalam Subbu, but because of his association with the Brahmin family, that office boy was not given a due importance, a due recognition in the Gemini Studios. So this was quite interesting and humorous also. Sometimes author says that Ashokamitran says that he would be happy if a work of crowd playing would take place there. Because of that, at least office boy would leave him away or leave him alone, and he could relieve himself from his boring talks, tedious or ominous talks. Okay, वो जब भी जाते थे वहाँ पे तो अशोकामित्रन को बोलते थे कि मेरे जैसे टैलेंटेड आदमी का टैलेंट कैसे ख़राब करके रखा है यहाँ पे, जो सिर्फ बार्बर्स की तरह और जो प्रोटेड लोगों के लिए बना है उस प्लेस पे काम कर रहा है, उसके टैलेंट को प्रॉपर यूज़ नहीं हो रहा है. सो अशोकामित्रन सोचते कि जल्दी से जल्दी कोई काम मिल जाए क्राउड पेइंग के जो मेकअप का, सो दैट ये मेरे पास से चला जाए और मुझे जो है बोर ना करे. Next is, why was Kothamangalam Subbu considered number 2 in Gemini Studios? Dear students, as you know that Kothamangalam Subbu was a man of super or multiple talents. Okay, for one action or one performance, he would come with not only 4 but 14 alternatives. 14 alternatives. He was a writer also, he was a poet also, and he could perform all the tasks very promptly, efficiently, effectively. He was very close to boss. He was a man of principles, and that's why, being a person from story department, he was taken by S.S. Vasan as his close associate. Okay, means he used to work very closely with S.S. Vasan, whereas other people from story department used to work according to their department only, means story writing only, whereas Kothamangalam Subbu was given a superior post there. How does the author describe the incongruity of an English poet addressing the audience at Gemini Studios? Incongruity means conflict. Okay, conflict between the two. Yes, the author has described this. The author has described this, that described the incongruity of an English poet addressing the audience at Gemini Studios, because people at Gemini Studios were not able to understand what the Englishman was speaking there. His accent was not at all fit to be understood by the people of Gemini Studios. So he thought himself that he guessed that people are not taking interest in his speech, and it was all in a conflict, means neither the people were able to understand, nor he was thinking that it was a suitable place for his speech, because the interest was not at all shown from any side. So that's why addressing the people at Gemini Studios was in some way incongruent. Okay. Next is, what do you understand about the author's literary inclinations from the account? Yes, the author creates satire, humor. His literary inclinations are humorous, you can say, and he was having a talent of writing stories, because as you know that a person who deals with different stories, newspaper clippings, obviously he inculcates a habit of learning and writing. He becomes a learned person after a period of time, and same was with Ashokamitran. So his literary inclinations, or he was a very literary person, he had good knowledge about, and he was able to depict the characters in humor and satire. Okay, so this was all about this questions and answers of this chapter. I hope you have understood it, and try to understand them or try to extract them the way I have showed you, and try to make the notes. Thank you. Have a nice day.